We're gonna go live in just a minute. Stay tuned. There it is, and we're there.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome once again to the CC Show. My name is DJ Seith, and to my right, this right, I guess to my left, to your right, would be our wonderful host, CC. And thank you so much for tuning in today.
Hey, y'all. It is Saturday, March 20th. Some people consider today the first day of spring. That's exciting. We low-key decided to launch the second season of the CC Show featuring sounds by DJ Seith. I love everyone's been asking. We've kind of been on a hiatus for a few months, doing a bunch of stuff. So we're just gonna have a conversation and let you guys know what we've been up to, our friends and folks amongst us. And so of course, with tradition, we like to start with our land acknowledgement. Very proud to be in Boating. I'm coming from downtown Sault Ste. Marie, and Boating is also known as Sault Ste. Marie, and it's under the rapids. So Boating is in the middle of all of the Great Lakes, the largest freshwater body in the world. So we have a super important responsibility to respect and protect that freshwater, as well as the land surrounding it. So it's very important to recognize that. We're also the home of former residential school, Shingwalk Residential School, which is now Algoma University. So there is a very layered history about that, and some truths that need to be recognized there. It's also the traditional home of the Anishinaabe people, and there are many people that live here and share these lands, settler and different indigeneities alike. So blessed to that. We're in the Robinson-Huron Treaty. So I learned a lot about that. The Robinson-Huron Treaty was actually the first treaty that used manipulation to leverage large pieces of land rather than smaller plots, because they used to just like kind of carve out this was like your yard or your plot, right? Where the Robinson-Huron Treaty was actually the first one that had a vast amount of land with a sort of like long-term presented payoff. So very interesting history, and it kind of set precedents for treaties that came afterwards. So, and that is still in effect over 200 years later. Like we're still rocking with the Robinson-Huron Treaty. So yes, important things to remember about our land. And yeah. So how's everyone on this fine Saturday morning? First day of spring, sun's out. How you feeling over there, Shane?
I'm feeling pretty good actually right now. It's kind of nice. I mean, I was kind of, as it's been kind of, known to be, at least in Northern Ontario, our little corner of the world, typically end of March is when we get hit one last time by Old Man Winter. But, that foot hasn't dropped, and I'm kind of a little bit like psyched that hasn't happened yet. It's still nice out. I can go out with maybe just a sweater on and go for a walk. We actually went for a walk last night, and it was really nice. So, yeah.
I just learned that somehow, I don't know how, but we have captions on our show now. So
Yeah, I
when
saw that.
you watch
Yeah,
it,
we were doing a little testing yesterday, and all of a sudden, we have captions now for our show, which is really, really exciting. Yeah, that's really exciting.
well, I hope it helps, people be able to follow along better, or if there's any just communication barriers, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
So that's exciting. Thanks, whatever platform gave us that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely taking advantage of that for sure. Yeah. So otherwise, yeah, I've been doing pretty good. It's been like you had said at the top of the show. It's been a few months since we got back together and did an episode. So I'm really excited to kind of kick off season 2. And I was just kind of hoping that maybe today we could kind of like maybe break a little bread, chat it up a little bit, and see where we've been in the past few months and what we've been up to, what kind of journeys we've been on. The hardships and the successes and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. And yeah. So did you want to kick it off?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a long 4 months. The last episode we had was an impromptu Halloween episode way back in October. So it's been a long 4 months. I've done a lot as far as like work goes, being involved with Northern Lights Collaborative. Actually, a lot of people ask me like, Cece, what do you do? You're so busy. Like, what do you actually do? So one of my jobs is the Northeast regional lead for Northern Lights Collaborative. We're like a grassroots collective of I guess nonprofits or organizations or people that serve youth in different ways, whether it be arts or culture or teaching skills. So we kind of come together as a collective and help share those things and make plans to I don't know, take over the world, create a better youth infrastructure. So Northern Lights Collaborative is also involved, and they help us out with our show with Young Leaders Circle, which is really cool cross-regional collective of young, changers and entrepreneurs that do sort of similar things, but in a totally different way. So I was really proud to do like the Harvest Moon workshops in the fall. They were kind of like the new Shining Moon workshops that we did at the beginning when COVID hit, in the middle of like launching the CC show and so much more. So this time we got a second back at it, and we were able to do a month-long workshop series again. So that was really exciting, and also tiring.
What kind of
So we
workshops
did,
did you guys do?
I think we did 22. I'd have to like recheck the numbers to be honest, but yeah, we did 22 workshops.
Oh
We
wow.
had And then we also, so we did the Harvest Moon workshop series, but we also coupled it with the I Believe Dreamers, which is another group working with Young Leaders Circle.
Shout out to
And
Jermaine Henry and the whole I Believe Dreamers crew.
yeah, so there's
Yeah.
the I Believe Dreamers crew, and then Sound Syndrome, and then which is a part of the Dreamers crew. And anyway, so to kick off the Harvest Moon workshop series at the end, we had an online concert, which was really cool. And we had people like watching from like Ottawa and Montreal and like the States. So it was really cool.
Cool.
And there was like 23 Black and Indigenous artists involved at that concert and series. And then the workshop series, again, I believe had between 20 and 30 youth facilitators. Like each workshop was facilitated by a different young person. So it's all about like, sharing that light and letting people like cast their voice and, share their skills and like how awesome they're doing so everyone can shine.
That's really cool. I actually got to catch the I Believe Dreamers online concert. Actually, after it went live, it went up on YouTube, and I watched it there. And oh my God, it was really amazing. I loved every bit of it. I mean, there was like poetry and art and just music and all kinds of beautiful, beautiful things being shared in that concert. I think it's still up too, isn't it? It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Still?
it is still up. It's on the I Believe, and when I say I Believe, it's IBLV.
Yeah.
It's like an acronym, Dreamers. So it's on their YouTube, and you're able to see it there. So it's still up, and it was really empowering during the time because we were just like coming out of a lull, and we were still on lockdown. So like, we had to tape everything in backyards and at a distance and, really be creative like that. We had gotten funding from Ontario Indigenous Youth Partnership Project, OIP. And we were going to travel to Toronto to perform there. But unfortunately, we weren't able to do that safely because of COVID-19 and the pandemic. I know we're all, those words out of my mouth again. Right? Yeah. But so we made the best of it, and it was really cool. We were able to do that. And yeah, I learned a lot about my fellow dreamers and the I Believe Dreamers. And yeah, so we have some really cool stuff going there. And that was it's really cool because even though we're so far apart, everyone's able to connect in a way, like, you know what I mean? We had like 23 young people plus then another at least 20 young people. So, that's like 43 young people working on that month-long thing. And then cross-regionally from, different cities, we had Ottawa, Toronto, Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie involved. So we were able to come together anyways, like, and do a lot that maybe we wouldn't have been able to do like under certain circumstances. So silver linings,
Yeah, definitely. And I think there was definitely a lot of great opportunities for people to kind of, collectively kind of come together and make connections that they wouldn't have otherwise made too within a project like that. And it really did feel like it was a really big labor of like huge love coming from like really, really big and open hearts. You know what I mean? And I loved it. I was, every little bit of it was great. Like the cinematography to the art to the, the music and just everything that was on display. I would highly, highly recommend anybody that is even the least bit curious, go check it out on YouTube. And it's a long watch, but it's really, really good. Like, I mean, you the time flies by. You're watching this thing. I'm like, wow, this is really, really good.
Yeah, my friend actually broke it up into clips too. So if you go to their YouTube channel, you can actually see each performance and like,
cool.
Maybe watch part of it before you have your tea and then after, or like, whatever you like to do.
That's cool. That's cool. Cause yeah, when I went to go watch it, the clips weren't up yet. It was the whole thing. And I just threw it on when I was doing some work in my studio and everything like that. And then, every subsequent performance that came on one after the other, I was just like, man, that's so cool. Like, David DeLisca was amazing. Imagine Violet. Konica, obviously the Sound Syndrome crew, they came amazingly. Like, they're like I've seen those guys kind of like grow into what they are now, and man, have they ever come so far? Like, you know what I mean? Just like, what's the word? Like their synchronization and syncopation of everything that they do is just so well put together, and just such a great show. The whole show was amazing. So, yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. And like that kind of led into like Christmas holidays and that sort of thing, which were kind of a drag because we were on lockdown again, but it gave like some worth, or like to go a big bang before going into holidays. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the over the Christmas season or like holiday season, whatever you celebrate, but I wasn't really able to see much family. So that was like hard. And I'm sure many people can relate. Like
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is my grandmother's favorite, and she's 86, and she like her house just like drips Christmas, like more than one Christmas tree kind of lady. And her birthday is in December also, and so it really was a challenge to not be able to visit her during that time, but to keep her safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also grateful I was able to make a turkey at home, and I'm a pretty good cook, so
Cool.
there's things to be grateful for like around that time. And
Mm-hmm.
I got to skate. Skating was great this season.
Oh, nice,
Did you
nice.
get out and do anything when it was still winter?
I didn't get to go skating, but I did get to go snowshoeing quite a few times. We went to a few different places. We did Hiawatha a couple times. We actually went to, oh, the name escapes me now. It was off the highway going north. I can't remember where it is now, but we went with our friend Chris, and it was probably a good hour and a half worth of snowshoeing, and it was a lot of unbroken trail and everything like that, which is like the best way to snowshoe, right? Because then you really feel like you're snowshoeing, like,
Well,
like
yeah,
stepping on snow and actually like hovering on it. It's a good feeling. So, but yeah, no, that was lots of fun. What else have we done? Just little walks in the park and that kind of thing. We went to Whitefish Island and fed the chickadees, and Susie, my partner, and I actually had our hands out and had the chickadees land on our hands, and it was the most amazing thing. We went out with a couple of friends, obviously social distance and all that kind of thing.
oh yeah, of
Um,
course.
yeah, and it was really nice. We got some nice pictures and videos and stuff of the chickadees coming and feeding out of our hands and stuff. So it was really nice to kind of reconnect back with nature, because I find, at least in my past, like typically when winter comes, I kind of hole in a little bit, and I don't like to go out because it's cold, and I'm a little bit averse to the cold, I guess you could say. I, you know, you can see right now I don't have a lot of meat on my bones, and so I get pretty cold pretty fast. But it was nice though this season. Like it was actually kind of a bit of a milder winter where we are,
Yeah, it
so
was.
it made it a little bit easier, to get out and actually enjoy the winter activities and stuff. So yeah, we made it out.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so like I mean cold months, just like, just accepting and, eliminating stigmas around like mental health and mental wellness and journeys and stuff like that. So like
Mm-hmm.
I can totally admit that like it was a low winter. I didn't get to see
Yeah.
my grandma. I was tired. I, had that COVID leg. I ate a lot of, not great food. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like for me, which is fine, but I mean, at least I ate. But
Mm-hmm.
I just, stayed at home and ate munchies and stayed cozy, and did what I could, made it through, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also I was able to do like some other cool stuff. I feel like work and community work like keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to like give back, it just gives me like purpose. So if I am in a little bit of like a rut, it kind of like, jets me going.
Right.
Um, so through Northern Lights Collaborative, we got some funding, some COVID-19 relief funding through Youth Opportunities Fund. So many
Cool.
funds. Yeah, it was really cool. Just like this whole journey when COVID hit, it was like I seen families and one of my best friends, just like what they experienced transitioning to like what life was before and what life is now. And
Mm-hmm.
like some of the barriers that like my mom's friends would face or my friends with families would face, like being isolated and lack of technology and, lack of things to do, or just not taking care of yourself, which is like, something I was doing too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, what could we do with this COVID-19 relief that would like actually be worthwhile and valuable to them? So one of my mom friends inspired me and my boss also came to me and said we had this opportunity. So when I was working with my boss, we were talking about what can we do with this funds that would actually be worthwhile. So what we decided to do is these Northern Lights activity guides and gift boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 50 of them across Northern Ontario. Some went to Thunder Bay, Sudbury, Garden River, Batchewana First Nation, and then Urban Indigenous here in Sault Ste. Marie. So 50 families, and we partnered with different organizations like Wabanon Head Start and Batchwan Health Center and Shagamquay in Thunder Bay
Mm-hmm.
as well. And we also like worked with a bunch of local vendors too.
Cool.
So we worked with Stones and OC Bath and Body Works and Maker North
Mm.
and Sister Bear Designs from Thunder Bay. Actually, this is the cookum scarf I got from them.
Oh, that's nice. I like
Um,
it.
Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's nice.
And Yin's Legacies, like Jasmine Surratt, made us a bunch of earrings, and we worked with Family Tree and Ojibwe Natural. And so basically, the box had a laptop. So 50 families got a laptop with the case and a mouse and the mouse pad and everything to make it accessible. So that was the first step. And then the activity guide was had 8 activities that were designed from Indigenous families themselves in Northern Ontario that they submitted
Mm-hmm.
and were compensated for. So of course, relieving some of it during these times, creating jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And then Taylor Jolin, this amazing Indigenous graphic artist, made us an activity guide for it, and we put that in the box. Now, all the activities had things to do it, like, one was like old Nokomis, old maid, and so we need to, a deck of cards, or maybe it was art supplies, or Maker North, like I said, they made us cookie cutters
Oh, cool.
for a sugar cookie recipe that was in Anishinaabe.
Mm.
So yeah, so in this activity, it was really cool, right? Different
Mm-hmm.
submitted by different families. So we put all the stuff to do the activities with the activity guide in the box also. And then we put some hygiene products and some self-care products and some PPE in there also. So that was really exciting. And then we had, little extra gifts like a cookum scarf and some earrings and stuff for the families. So we worked with all those local organizations to like fill this box full of stuff and send it out to 50 different families. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a lot of work. We partnered with also Coach Katrina, like she is so great at the club to do these boxes because I would not be able to fit 50 boxes in my house or have the space to safely pack them.
Oh,
And
definitely.
then
Yeah.
yeah. And then my friend Brittany came down and volunteered, and we filled all these boxes. Katrina and I did all the shopping with the help of my boss, Justin. And we filled all these boxes and mailed them to, 50 different families. And like, we made it by the end. I was so excited to get rid of those boxes.
Yeah, no
But yeah,
kidding.
got a lot of positive feedback about it. I'm really grateful to be in this work during this time. Like, it's a hard time, but like,
That's
that's a really
amazing.
cool way to,
That is a
live your life.
really cool thing. You guys got boxes to the families and like to help support them through the quarantine and the pandemic. Yeah. Oh my God, that's really inspiring.
And I forgot
When I
to
first saw the boxes come up on social media, I was so curious because like a lot of the little videos were kind of like sped up little videos of everybody running around and putting these things in these boxes. I'm like, oh man, they're really busy over at Coach Katrina's right now. What are they doing? And so I was really curious about it. So I looked into it a little bit. And when I heard what you guys were doing, I was like, man, my God, that is so inspiring. So yeah, congratulations to you guys for sure for being able to put those funds to good use.
Yeah, shout out to everyone involved. Couldn't do it without Youth Opportunities Fund. Couldn't do it without Catalyst X, and
Mm-hmm.
then Northern Lights Collaborative. It was great, and
That's
just really
amazing.
proud.
That's
Thanks, everyone.
amazing.
Anyways, yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool. I mean, like other than like winter activities and stuff, I found I've been really busy too, like over the past few months, and just kind of like, as you were saying, like, when it's the winter time, and especially like when you're in the midst of a quarantine, like you kind of get like, at least for me, I find I get a little bit stir crazy. I want to do something, right? I want to keep myself busy and kind of do something, and I find myself always gravitating towards something creative. So I decided, like I was looking through some of my projects, and I was having a hard time trying to find the inspiration for what I was going to do next. So I thought to myself, well, I mean, like maybe it might be worthwhile for me to maybe go through my past and kind of, maybe get inspiration from that to find out, like the points in my journey where like I've done something so I could kind of get a little bit more clarity as to what to do next kind of thing, right? So as I was going through all these old, projects and stuff like that, and it was like, extra footage from this and like a little bit of extra audio from that and everything, I started thinking to myself, I wonder if anybody else would like to see these kind of things, right? And so I decided at the end of December to start up a little Patreon and throw them up on there just a little bit at a time to see, if anybody was interested in that kind of thing. Because
So cool.
a really good friend of mine, Ricky Strapp, told me that definitely there's a lot of interest in artists' process. And it's something that oftentimes gets overlooked by creatives. They think, oh, I need to just make the next new thing, and they leave all this extra stuff on the table that oftentimes actually people that are interested in their work would like to see that kind of thing, right? So I kind of took that lesson to heart and thought, you know what, it would be really cool to kind of do this in a way that would be accessible to people. So I started out the Patreon and I started posting little things here and there. And then I had somebody go and, I was asking for like maybe $1, maybe like $3 a month, something simple, like I didn't want to like break the bank. I mean, in my head, I was thinking, okay, as long as I keep under the price of like a monthly Netflix subscription, then nobody's going to be expecting me to do all these like huge shows and all this kind of stuff because like I'm just one guy, right? But so I wanted to keep it simple, and then I had somebody join the Patreon at $20 a month, and I was like, oh man, okay. I didn't know that somebody had that much value like to what it was I was doing. It was kind of surprising to me. Like I had thought in my head, like being an individual creator, you don't really think about people valuing your work in that way when you're in the midst of doing it. And I'm sure that's something that happens with a lot of creatives, right? And a lot of people that are in whatever work they're in, social work or whatever it is, right? Community building. Oftentimes you don't really like. I mean, you hear it, but sometimes you don't really like believe it. Like. So it was kind of a bit of a wake up call, and it kind of spurred me to want to. Do something a little bit more. So I decided to start a tape club.
So cool.
Which
I'm
is
part of
like,
the tape club.
yeah. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to offer the $20 a month perk on my Patreon, and if anybody joins at that level, they get a free they get a, well, not a free tape, but they get a tape sent to their house every month that I make. And so I'll make a new tape every month for 2021, which will keep me very busy, and also allow me to kind of like flex my creative and problem solving skills, because I mean, yeah, I've released a tape before, but not like fully DIY tape. I mean, a lot of it was like collaborations with artists and with like duplicators and all this kind of stuff. I was thinking to myself in this regard, how much of this would I be able to do on my own and make it something that is like wholly something that I created, which then kind of, at least I think, adds value, right? You bring that out, and it's a part of you, like you're sharing.
Beginning to end.
Yeah, exactly. And then also opportunities to kind of create community and stuff like that too around creative works, right? So yeah, the tape club, it's been really good. I'm just finishing up on the March tape right now. We did the January tape and the February tape. Unfortunately, I don't have any of them with me right now. They're all upstairs. But yeah, they've been really lots of fun to do. I decided early on that one of the things I wanted to kind of do with these tapes is handmade artwork on the tape covers, right? So I've been working.
So cool. I've been seeing you like carve stuff.
Yeah, actually, I've been carving stamps to stamp the artwork myself in the house, and it's been there's been a really positive response to that. But more so than anything, I've found that like the carving of stamps, that's really relaxing. I would definitely recommend anybody that's looking to kind of get into like a very relaxing craft to look into like lino stamp carving, because it was something that completely surprised me, and I gravitated to it so much, and I'm learning a lot about it as I go and everything. So, learning new skills and that kind of thing too. But yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. One has like a sunglasses on it, right?
That was the February mix. I was thinking about what I wanted to do for that one, and the mix itself was kind of very jazz infused. So I was thinking about some of my favorite jazz records, and there was a record I had in my collection by a group called Passport, which was like jazz fusion from like the 70s. And a lot of their album covers would have these aviator shades in like weird kind of like neon and pastel colors and stuff like that, with all these strange shapes and things going on with them. So I wanted to do a little bit of an homage to that artwork, because it's always stuck out in my head as being like one of those really interesting pieces of art that you see on album covers. So yeah, that was kind of the inspiration for that one. But yeah, no, it's been lots of fun learning about stamp ink and like layering stamps to get multiple colors and all kinds of different things that you can do with that. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen your most recent one. It was like a microphone that you're working on. And then you're
Yeah.
like, what's stamp or marker?
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say stamp because I like the gradient, but like I don't
Yeah.
know. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's
I posted that on social media. Yeah, I was working on the artwork for the newest one, which is going to be called Rap Bingo, which is going to be a combination mixtape and and bingo game. So
that's
the
so
idea
rad.
being that I'm going to be mixing like this will be the first of the month the tape club mixes that's going to feature like a lot of like rap music and stuff. So I mean, obviously, there's a lot of words being called in rap music because that's the nature of the genre, right? So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to kind of make it into like a game? And my partner Susie showed me this website that she was using to create bingo cards, and you can just type whatever you want into each of the boxes, and it'll randomize it and make these bingo cards for you.
Oh,
So I'm like,
cool.
oh, that's cool, right? So I started working on that a little bit, and I put together the mix, and then I went back and listened to the mix and wrote down a bunch of words and phrases that they were saying in the music, and we came up with about 150 different phrases and words that we could randomize our cards with. And then I created the cards on that website and I printed them out. And so what we do is we play the tape and we each have our own card with our bingo dabber. This is my lucky bingo dabber right here.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And then you dab when the part of the like the lyrics come on?
Yeah, yeah. And it's actually pretty fun, you know, because
That
it
is
really
so
like
cool.
it gets you to listen to what they're saying. And it's like, man, like like I never really listened to music in this regard to like to try to find like, oh, here's that word, here's this word, like it's interesting. So it's kind of fun, and I'm really excited to kind of put this one out. It's going to be out on the 1st of April for Tape Club members. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, we're from Northern Ontario. Everyone loves bingo. That's
everybody
rad.
loves bingo up here. Yeah.
I can see in my background too. Hold on. I made also recently, and I have them too. So if anybody wants one, they can reach out on Facebook or like email me or us. Is these asset maps. Again, this beautiful booklet is designed by Taylor Jolin, but these asset maps and for Sault Ste. Marie, and they have like all the different organizations, if there's food security,
Nice.
in them that I was able to research with a really cool asset mapping team
That's
over the
cool.
fall winter, or over the winter. And basically, it's like organizations that would serve youth or youth infrastructure that would have value. And there's like, instead of just their name and their number, there's like a little write up about what they actually do.
Oh, cool.
So if anybody's like a young person in our community that's like kind of coming up or looking for resources or even just looking to where to be involved or where to find what they need, we have this handy dandy kind of asset map booklet. And I have like 100, so I really need to get rid of them. So please hit me up.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem.
What's the best way somebody could reach out and get one of those from you?
Okay, well, most people watch the show on Facebook, so definitely you can just hit me up on Facebook,
Yeah.
or you can email us at cc and seith@gmail.com, or my personal email is trahancc@gmail.com. So I use that like for all my activism and work and stuff, so you're more than welcome to email me, folks. But yeah, email me, Facebook me, hit me up. I have, if you work for an organization, I can give you multiples. If you're just like an individual, I can also give you some. Like, it's all about just like spreading that knowledge and like
Cool.
social capital, working together, being strong together.
I'm definitely gonna hit you up for one of those after the show for sure, because that's actually I just learned about that just now. I didn't know you guys did that. That's really cool. Very valuable.
Yeah,
So.
I forgot about it. Yeah, I don't know why. We did a huge asset mapping project too, over just before Christmas and when January hit, partnered with a young person in Sault Ste. Marie and a young person in Thunder Bay, as well as my co-worker. So the four of us were able to do asset mapping for Thunder Bay and Sault Ste. Marie. So Thunder Bay folks also, if you're watching, hit us up too. I can help you get a Thunder Bay asset map also.
Cool.
About it. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So it's pretty far reaching then too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a living document. Like I'm sure if you pick it up there, you'll be like, oh, maybe so and so is missing. But that's the idea is like now
Mhm.
we can add to it and maybe we can have 2022 edition. Or
Cool.
maybe it like calls in some folks like, oh, hey, I wasn't in this book. How can I become a part of this book? Or how can I be more well known
Yeah.
or connect with you? So we can all kind of work together.
It'll
I
grow
remember when I
organically.
started, pardon?
It'll grow organically. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I remember when I started kind of talking or community speaking about 10 years ago, and like, you end up like going to conferences and learning a lot. And I wasn't really as active. I was more of like a sponge, and people were like, we're working in silos, but I see something really beautiful in our Goma community of people working together more and more often.
Mhm.
And tools like this helps so we can like know where each other are at, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure. That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely want to get one of those. Okay, so tell me about that mask that you got on right there.
Yeah, I had to bust it out because I just
Yeah.
wanted to feel extra bougie in my hook'em scarf and now my fancy sparkly mask. Mental health and art, right? Like, so you use Tape Club to like have like
Mhm.
purpose and worth in your art, and to get you through these times. And my friend Brittany taught me how to bead.
Mm.
um, and I'm learning different styles of beading, but this is like a simple lanyard chain. And it really helped me get through hard times during this time. I'm going to take this off though, because I'm inside and safe, but I was just pitching. But look, I can put it on and it doesn't go anywhere. So anyway, she taught me to bead these lanyards. And then I was working less just before Christmas. And so I decided to start selling them, the
Mm.
masks and lanyards on my Facebook. And it was like amazing. And everyone loved it. And they were like, yeah, we want more. We want more. So in January, Brittany and I decided to start a little business called Mask Up 705. And that's what we are on Instagram too. We only have an Instagram. We're super small. We do one-offs. So
Mhm.
Mask Up 705. Yeah. And we just started going like, you know, really with energy towards beating all of
Mhm.
these lanyards to match these pretty masks and kind of find a silver lining. Like
Mhm.
instead of like, because I was really low when I started beating too, so it really kept me busy. And instead of being so frustrated with a second lockdown and COVID-19 and the pandemic and like everything that is just like frankly shit about our
Mhm.
reality right now,
Yeah.
it was something to focus towards like, oh, okay, well, I can start a business that like, is in reaction to what's going on, like that's relevant to what's going on right now. And I
Mhm.
can use art and fashion to try to make people happy and try to make myself happy and, change that mindset.
Mhm.
And Britt was about it too. So it would, and I mean, she's the one who taught me how to bead them in the first place.
Mhm.
Um, so it was really great. And we started doing that. So we've been doing that like January, February, March, just like 3 months. And
Yeah.
we've got some like pretty cool support. Like different nonprofits have gotten them for like prizes because everybody's doing like these online workshops and gatherings and like at least trying to be together, which I really want to commend. Our community's done a lot of that too. So kudos to anyone who's like organized or participated in this, and parents that
Mhm.
are logging on with their kids, trying to keep them busy. But
Mhm.
yeah, they've used them for prizes, or like people will, order one-offs. Lots of people like the shiny ones.
Mhm.
And it just helps us get through the week. Like
Yeah.
I know this week I like to post things weekly for the business, so at least in the week I'm going to do a little bit of art, and like that's kind of the balance, right? So it's not all work, it's a little bit of art.
Mhm.
So yeah, if you want and you're interested in Mask Up 705, we're just a small business. Like we're doing one-offs and stuff right now.
Mhm.
We did get a little bit of funding for a Cricut machine. So we're gonna
Oh,
start doing
nice.
like custom orders and stuff too, right? Like, and everyone's doing it. So like
Yeah.
kudos, everyone can be artists,
Absolutely. Yeah.
be fashion designers. I'm about it. But it'll just like kind of go, because then we'll be able to have like the beautiful hand beaded, handcrafted lanyards and be able to like customize the masks ourselves. So
Mhm.
it'll be a cool step and something else to learn and a new skill, because a lot of the time, like my journey, I learned how to like talk and use different vocabulary and how to be loud and be a public speaker,
Mm.
or how to write a report, or things like that. But I didn't actually learn about my indigeneity or my culture until my 20s, or I didn't learn arts, and I didn't start painting again until like my 20s, or beating now, right, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't do those things because I was too busy trying to like survive. So
Mm-hmm.
but it's really important skills to have to just like feed your soul. So I'm really excited to be able to be learning more like physical and art skills that are like that I can carry with me and use for opportunities, rather than just always like so structural in business. But it's good to have
For
a
sure.
balance.
Yeah. No, and I think actually, especially too, I mean, having only encountered that when you reached your 20s too, there's definitely a value in that. I mean, that's your journey. And I mean, if you hadn't gone through all of the struggle that you found yourself in prior to doing that, like I always think about this too. Like, I mean, in the struggles that I went through to get to where I am as well too, I'm sure you can relate. Like it kind of helps to shape the importance of being creative and being in connection with your indigeneity and with your culture and everything like that. It's that much more important having gone through that personal struggle beforehand, and then getting into it and now realizing, oh, you know what, this is definitely a part of who I am, and it's part of my history, part of my culture and everything. So yeah.
Like a
Hmm.
purpose, yeah,
A
like
purpose, yeah.
really, yeah, an intentional value with it, since I
Hmm.
am like just at that point in my life, rather than if I was like a youth,
Hmm.
um or younger youth, because I still feel like a youth, milking it.
Yeah.
Milk it, everybody.
Yeah, same. But yeah, like, I mean, I totally get that. I mean, like, as far as like reaching out and starting to work with others, like, you had mentioned like learning with Brittany, and and working together on these lanyards, and on these creative projects and stuff like that. That's been something I've been trying to work on myself as well too, because I've found over a lot of my time as a creative, I've really mostly worked like solo, like working on something myself, like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do this, and how can I do that, and I can do this, and I'll do that, and whatever. Okay, I'll figure this out, and do everything, right? And very little opportunity for me to reach out and kind of like bring other creatives in, and see what kind of what kind of plants germinate, right? Like whatever grows, what's going to grow out of that. Two hearts or more hearts coming together, you get some really interesting results. So I've been really challenging myself over the past while now to kind of come together with others and start to collaborate a little bit more, and see where our collaborative processes, where they shine, and where they come together, and like link up and everything, right? So I reached out to a friend of mine out in Wisconsin in the States, who had ties to somebody in Chicago who was running a tape label called Icy Palms Records, and yeah, and we all kind of like there was a whole collective of like MCs and producers and stuff like that under this label, who had been releasing their own solo projects. So my friend Joe in Wisconsin, so shout out to Crate Digging Collective in Wisconsin. He came up with the idea of coming up with a remix project for a lot of the material that had prior released on this label, right? Including a couple of people that weren't on the label, like myself, and a couple others. To kind of come together and make something really interesting. So the concept was, take some of the music that you made off of like a release that was on this label, submit it into the pot, and then he would kind of mix it up and send it out to one of the other people that submitted into the pot. They would get the pieces and the parts of that particular song, and then they could remix it into a new song, put it back into the pot, and then he would take it and assign it to an MC or a singer, to kind of like add something else to it and create an entirely new work out of existing work. So it was
So
kind of this
many
like
layers.
3-part remix project, this like layer cake of remixing. And it was so much fun to do. Like, it was definitely a labor of love. And it's at the point now where like the project is completed, and I believe tapes are they just went on sale, like I think it was like last week or the week before, and it's called the Icy Palms Reheated Project is what it is. And if you do a search on Icy Palms Records, there's a Bandcamp. You'll find it if you do a search on Google, and then you can take a look for Reheated. And I got a couple of remixes on there, one of which actually was a remix of one of my songs that featured one of my friends, Garbage Face, on it, who I was surprised to see was part of the project. He's been in the Bawating region a couple times now playing live. He played out at the Ono Fest, and prior to that, he played at the Canadian in town, and it was an amazing show. He had like a whole one-man show thing going on with like a beat machine and like fog and lights and all this kind of stuff, and it was a really amazing show. And so shouts to Garbage Face for being on that project there and kind of collaborating with me a little bit, and it was really exciting anyway. And I'm really hoping that people are gonna check that out too, because I'm
I
really
heard
proud
it.
of.
It was a banger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was really proud of everything that was on there.
Like you pop around to
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We had there was a female MC by the name of Lavender who was on the track on the mix on a couple of different tracks, and she's just amazing. Like, just what a talent. Ben FM was on there too, amazing talent. Sankofa from Fort Wayne, Indiana, amazing talent. Silas and Yoda Rock, they're all kinds of guys. Mac McRaw from overseas did some things, and he's like just like a total veteran when it comes to like
That's
the
like a
underground hip hop thing.
worldwide project. That
Oh
is
yeah,
super cool.
yeah, for sure. It was people from all over the world, and I was really excited to be a part of that, and to kind of bring that back to home here in a way that where we could kind of share it around and like check it out, and maybe even make some more connections with everybody here in our community as well too. So it's been exciting. So yeah.
That is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the remix and like I said, it was a banger, but I didn't realize it was like a worldwide project. That is so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Way to
Yeah, so
go.
that been busy, so.
Busy,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been pretty exciting. I guess like one last thing too, the CC show, my friend that I went to high school with is a makeup artist now.
Mm.
And she was on a movie set. And she met Jennifer Podemsky, which she's like a really, really, really cool Indigenous actress who's been on multiple things. And I have been watching on the screen for a while since I was younger. Like I told my dad, and he's like, "Oh, she's in this and this and this." So super cool. So my friend tipped me off that Jennifer Podemsky was going to be starting like a network called the Shine Network. And it's basically like working with Indigenous content creators, women, and non-binary folks to help create like social capital and network, and see what barriers and share and gain. So it was really cool to be recognized and emailed by the Shine Network and Jennifer Podemsky to join like a personal Zoom call and join the network. So
we had a little bit of internet, I guess, hurting or whatever you want to call it, like little feedback, a little bit of interference, but we're back now. So sorry, we were at Jennifer Podemsky.
Yeah, I held there, just talked about like never know where the show could go, and we were excited that we were being seen by like a larger network on Turtle Island.
Yeah.
We're getting some upgrades. We're grateful. Northern Lights Collaborative has helped us. We're going to be getting better sound and video and lights.
Yes, very grateful to Northern Lights Collaborative for reaching out to us and giving us a little bit of a boost, in the production department. So yeah,
and just because they understand like the message behind our TV show, like we're not always just talking about what's the most rad makeup or brand that's out there. Not that anything's wrong with those shows either, but what we talk about is really empowering and what helps community and what messages are important to like your neighbors and the people. So definitely. I'm really grateful that like they align with what our message is, and we'll have better sound and a better look for season 2. Looking for more guests is something else I was just kind of rambling, holding the air about. So we are like, it's just me and Seith and me and Shane today, but like we are going to have our Voices for Change panel again. And we're looking for diverse topics that matter to you. Like, I mean, I could just write out a script of like what I think is cool and trendy and that, maybe funders will like, so we should talk about it. But really, I want to hear like what my neighbors want to hear or what my peers want to hear about, right? Like, that's the reason why we started this, is to have diversity and not always be talking about the same thing from the same people. Yep. So if you're not the same thing or the same people, hit us up.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, we want to hear from you. I mean, reach out to us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitch even. You can send us an email, ccandseith@gmail.com. And yeah, just let us know. What do you want to hear about? Like what's a hot topic that you're interested in hearing more about? And and we can see what we can do about making it happen, because we definitely want to keep the show interesting, and it's definitely always been centered around community more than anything else. We want to build a good community of just people that really want to kind of connect with one another, and get some talk out. So that's basically it.
Right. And as always, make sure that if you're feeling low, that you call home.
Absolutely. Always. Oh, did I lose you again?
For those times, and if you don't have one, make sure you make one, because it's a tough time. Call home.
Definitely call home. Talk to your family, talk to your friends. Keep in communication by whatever means you can. The pandemic, that's not something we're built for. We're not we're not built for quarantine and for pandemic. So it's good to be mindful of that and understand that. Yeah, I mean, if you're struggling in this time, we all understand. We're all struggling too, and we don't want to leave anybody in the dust. We don't want to nobody is out to say, oh well, that must be so hard for you. It's like, no, we're all going through this together, and let's connect together and have a good chat about it. It can be very healing. So
what kind of music did you
yeah
or do you think we're there yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're about that at that point here.
We're there.
I've been busy digging over the time that I've been off as well too, so I got a couple of new slabs of wax here and there. But yeah, I'm actually gonna finish off the day today with a classic, I think a classic breakbeat that I'm just gonna do a little bit of cutting to, because I love to cut records. So yeah, I think that's where we're at right now.
We're getting live. Okay, yeah, I'm about
absolutely.
It. Thank you everyone for watching. Tune in next week. We will rerun this, and the following week we'll be live again. Miigwech.
All right. Okay.
Happy Saturday.
Rap Make a practice this.